I think it's actually nice to see a meta shakeup, but what in the world has Diabellstar done to the metagame? Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. The 145th Next Play event has come and gone, and is that 7 Rescue Ace decks? Yes, it is. Rescue Ace so much further ahead of the rest of the meta here. Like, this is actually genuinely scary to me to see that, you know, you have these combo variants with Auroradon out here, and then you have the control variant as well, both fighting for supremacy. And we've seen this through a couple of other tournament results so far, that who knew that adding, you know, a level 1 Fire Searcher into the mix would send, you know, this deck so far ahead. It's quite impressive. Now, the round out here for the rest of the participants, we had only 2 Labyrinth. You know, Labyrinth got some pretty broken support. Let's call it what it is. I mean, the ability to set the trap from the deck is crazy. We know that the card is extremely busted, but only 2 people chose to show up and play that, which is interesting in and itself. Then we also had 2 Purely Duelist as well. No matter how much things tend to change, no matter how much we go through, Purely still is going to sit at the dinner table here and be the deck of choice for some duels. Now, Dark World, for whatever reason, was sitting at this event actually doing some things. And it's actually scary because Dark World managed to make a top 8 slot. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what Dark World's doing right now, what innovations that it has to really push it ahead, because they didn't share any of the Dark World deck list, but, you know, my luck, I wish we could have seen that, but interesting to say the least. 2 Fallen of Albaz also doing their thing at this stage. I mean, Fallen of Albaz, even with 1 branded fusion, still a relevant deck in the OCG. I don't get it, but it does its thing. We also had double tier elements. Not all that surprised about that either. And then we had 2 Mana Diem as well. Now, I don't recognize some of these from the incredibly bad angles that they chose to do. But I see that we have Horus. We had Constellar. We had 1 Runic player. Oh boy, that's actually insane. We also had what looks like Exosister, Sword Soul. I don't recognize a couple of these others. Looks like Ohime, so Minkanko, Unchained, Sun Avalon, Rika, and then it looks like Super Heavy, Spriggans, and I'm not sure about some of this other stuff. But you got it's Vanquishal. You got a pretty good representation across the board here for participants. It's not like, you know, this is all just, you know, one deck. No, you got the diverse top cut is good. Now, top 8 here. I love how they've been doing this top 7 stuff. I don't know if it's like the way that their tiebreakers are panning out or what, or somebody leaves early. I don't know. But for top cut here, we had 3 Rescue Ace Duelist. That's a conversion from 7 Rescue Ace decks all the way down to a mere 3. And you know the best part about this is they didn't even win the event. Rescue Ace slammed so much further ahead of everything else that it couldn't even manage to finish out the event in first or second place finish. No. Our other challengers over here are going to do a lot of the work for us. Now, I did mention Dark World down here before somebody's like, oh, Robbie, got that Dark World list? No. Once again, they didn't show it. It didn't make the top 4 slot. I don't know why they don't show the top 7 list. This has been a genuine complaint of mine for a while, but okay. And then we have is that Thorion over here as well? What does this meta become? You know, like 3 weeks ago, we were complaining about tier elements being like the giant push over here. Now it's all about, you know, the big rescue machine and the mid-range control. Japan loves their mid-range control decks. Now, over here at the dinner table is Tri-Brigade, of all things. I don't know where this came from. I don't know what level of excitement that there was to have a Tri-Brigade duelist come out of nowhere, but I gotta clap for it because I didn't even see this. I was shocked to actually see that Tri-Brigade kind of came out of nowhere here And actually, I think it really messed up everybody here. This is just kind of one of those cases that, the sprite engine is still amazing. People still play this package. It's busted. There's a reason why the sprite package is one of the craziest engines in the game. And, hey, guess what? You're setting up forms of interruption. Hate to tell you this, but Turbulence isn't going to have a necessarily fun time if Tri-Brigade's just bonking it upside the head. And then, of course, Fallen of Albaz bringing up the rear here as well. I still am amazed by this deck still functions with only one branded fusion, and they're able to get it off the ground consistently. Like, the results to me are, you must be amazing at this game in order to execute and pull that off all the time. But kudos to the OCG for the very interesting things we've got going on here. So, our top 4 here. Guess what? We have Rescue Ace creeping on in here to start. And yes, this is going to be the Auroradon package. In comparison, I think out of the weekend for results, I think the Auroradon package had more numbers, but it had some interesting times trying to finish games out here. You also do get the chance to see Typhoon in here being a bonkers card. And then, of course, we do play the one spell card with the Diabellstar, which is the one of next to the Crossout Designator here that gives you the ability to beam out a level 1 fire monster. Hey, can you guess who's level 1 fire monster? It's Hydrant. Yeah, who knew that we needed a witch to bring out a fire hydrant? The Yu-Gi-Oh! Lore is getting wilder and wilder, but the implications of Duelist Next, of Age of Overlord is set. It's so many meta warping cards. Like, it's actually ridiculous to me to see. Next up here, we have our other Rescue Ace deck. Now, this is what I'm talking about. This is the good stuff. This is the variant that makes me extremely happy because we don't play, any of the Auroradon stuff. This is the straight mid-range control where you rely on the hand traps, kind of spin things out here, and you get the job done. All right, like, honestly, this is my go-to. And you do see here the massive application that you do get out of the value for this deck. Because to be perfectly honest with you here, only having to play, 2 hydrants definitely is where I'm at. I don't want to be bulking down on too many of these bricks because honestly, the more bricks you're playing, the less time or the less of a good time I think you're going to end up having out here. So when you can shave off, actual value, I think that's necessarily a good thing. Their deck construction, very, very interesting for the control aspect of things. And then, of course, Fallen of Albaz coming in second place. Now, the Bysteel package greatly reduced in numbers. They still do get to play Expulsion in the side deck. Yes, I see they've finally caught on to the Gimmick Puppet plan. The Gimmick Puppet. How long has it been since we have seen the OCG doing this? They were trying some other shenanigans before that, but that's fine. I also see that the Borreload Furious Dragon has caught on as well. It was something that the TCG we saw kind of started to adapt a little bit, but it looked like it didn't necessarily stick around too much. I think it is like the go-to method of things, but if it hasn't been like a mainstay, it's very, very interesting to say the least, but this is what the current state of Branded has been reduced to in the OCG. And you know what? It works. There's nothing wrong with that. And our last list here is our Tri-Brigade pile. Now, to be perfectly honest with you here, I'm not all that surprised to see that, there's putting in the SP Little Knight, and that's kind of it. That's the best new stuff you get. This deck doesn't even care two craps about playing Typhoon. See, we're also playing the Exceed Encore in here as well. Generally, you need to be able to, break down the opponent's big old monster so you don't have to actually worry about it. And then, of course, the Ninja Mosquito value. We're also not playing a Zeus, which I guess is fine. They're dedicating more value to the Tri-Brigade side of things for the form of interruptions to make sure, you can get the job done and get things wrapped up. But outside of that, I honestly think this is very standard. Like, even in comparison to a TCG list minus, the red reboot, I don't see anything wrong here. I'm not surprised to see that this did well. Old Reliable typically will get you there. So what do you think about today's wrap-up? Please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here. Later in the day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you. ya!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.